Tonight, the 5 dragons are looking for the business with the Midas touch.
You are magicians.
I can't believe this is happening.
As a new ensemble of entrepreneurs
Cool, I'm going a good one now.
get ready for their curtain call.
We're really ambitious. We want to accelerate our growth.
You've got stars in your eyes.
Whose dreams of success will vanish
You've got my backup.
You are in an almighty pickle. I mean, you're completely kerfuffled.
and who will pull the rabbit out of the hat
How much did you make?
About $2 million.
Whoa.
to conjure up the deal of a lifetime.
I'd want a fair chunk of the business. Be ready to give it away.
Welcome to Dragon's Den, a business fighting pit where people looking for cash battle for investment with multimillionaires. Some entrepreneurs will leave victorious with a dragon mentor and money. Others will admit defeat and retire to rethink their strategy. First into the den, 3 determined entrepreneurs who are hoping that when it comes to delivering a killer pitch, practice makes perfect.
It's just been non-stop preparation, pitches, due diligence.
And wherever you go, their eyes are following you. Deborah, she's proper staring at me.
We have a set structure as to what we're going to talk about. And we've briefed the best topics for each individual person.
For this tight-knit trio,
This is it, chaps.
words are often superfluous when it comes to expressing their vision for their business.
We communicate visually, basically. We know when we look at each other, yeah, we can tell in those eyes, those daggers tell us whether we're doing it right or not.
Hello, Dragons. I'm Darren Markwick, Managing Director of Parcel Boxes Installed.
I'm Liam Stamp, I'm Operations Manager.
I'm Brian Wilcox, and I'm the inventor of these parcel boxes.
We are here today seeking £40,000 for a 15% equity share in our start-up company.
Have you ever come home to find a parcel on your doorstep, if it hasn't already been stolen, letting everyone know you're not at home?
Or you've had a parcel delivered to one of your neighbours and you need to go and retrieve it, wasting your valuable time.
We have a patent-protected anti-theft parcel delivery box, which is courier agnostic and accepts multiple deliveries. If I can give you a quick demonstration. So, any courier can turn the handle and open the drawer, place the parcel inside, close the drawer, and it automatically gets delivered to the secure compartment. And then with your key, you can retrieve it when you come home.
With the parcel box, we genuinely believe we've created the future of mail, ensuring our customers, residential and commercial, never miss a parcel again.
We'd like you to take a closer look at our products and we invite any questions. Many thanks.
Have a quick look.
Hoping for investment in their company that produces secure mailboxes for packages are Darren Markwick, Liam Stamp and Brian Wilcox.
So if I open that,
Yeah, turn the handle, open the drawer.
put that box in,
That's it.
it should drop in automatically.
Yes, and it's concealed, so no one knows the parcel's in there.
They want £40,000 in return for a 15% stake in their business.
This is a freestanding unit.
Yes, so this one's standalone, this is built in, and this one's for apartments.
But Peter Jones thinks it's all looking a little familiar.
I've got something similar at my house, actually, that takes parcels, and it's got a key lock, and it was built into the brick. But my personal view is that this is already a very limited market in terms of its size and the potential. Because a typical home has just got enough space to have a letterbox. It's not going to go and have a filing cabinet near its outdoor area, is it? It's pretty much for people that are lucky enough to have either brick walls or nice big houses, isn't it?
I wouldn't have said that. Well, yeah,
Would you put that in the front garden?
Well, most houses have a front garden,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it looked like somebody's left their filing cabinet outside.
But that's what people are doing, Peter.
Really?
We're thinking about getting them vinyl wrapped, Peter, so it could blend in with the atmosphere.
A vinyl wrap? People would have that in the garden.
Yeah.
It would look like a filing cabinet in your garden, though, wouldn't it?
But it's convenience, isn't it? And maybe now it may look like that, but it won't be long before they blend in.
At the moment, you have 2 bins and a recycling bin in your front garden. It doesn't look aesthetically pretty, but it does the job.
Yeah, it's just that the possibility of having this in most homes, it's not currently feasible.
Peter Jones is far from convinced of the aesthetic draw of these particular parcel boxes. Next up, Tej Lalvani, who wants to unwrap the company's share structure.
So shall we start by figuring out how much you guys each own of the business?
So I'm 79% shareholder.
I have 1%.
And I have 20%.
Right, so just in terms of pricing, how much is the one which is installed in the bricks at the moment?
199.
So how much does it cost you?
The cost to us is 70 USD.
70 is about £55.
That's right,
About
yeah.
that.
You said you're a startup,
Yeah.
but you have some sales presumably, so what have you done so far?
We've actually been selling for about 10 months, of which our turnover is 21k. And in that time, we've supplied 68 boxes and we've provided 37 installations of the box.
Can I just say something slightly? So up to now, we've been 2 separate companies. Darren's company has sold 68 units, but my company's sold about 500 in UK and Europe and another 500 in Japan, and then we're merging the companies together. So
Right, so what sort of business is your company doing at the moment?
My company's been more in the inventive side of it, and then Darren and Liam have been the salespeople.
Right, so the investment today would be in the combined company?
Yes,
combined
yes.
companies, yeah.
And the IP will be held in that company
Yes,
as well?
yeah.
That's correct.
So when I asked you how much have you sold, you only said 68. Why did you
So
not-
in our UK-based operations, under parcel boxes installed, we have sold 68. However, because obviously we've only been actually selling them for 10 months, Brian was the inventor who obviously preceded that, and his figures go back a bit further.
With 2 sets of figures to marry up, Tej Lalvani is having to work hard to get a clear picture of the sales. Now, it's Tuka Suleiman's turn to attempt to get a better understanding of the combined businesses.
You've come here wanting 40 grand. It's a total startup, which I can understand, but you've made the thing very complicated.
Based on our projections,
Okay, projections, let's
Sure.
start.
Yeah, sure.
Year one,
We project a turnover of 63k.
63k.
Yeah.
Turnover.
Yeah.
This is purely parcel box figures, by the way. Brian's figures are separate.
I'm talking about going forward as the new collective business.
Yeah.
You've just sold me 63 grand.
Yeah, yeah. So
That
going
includes Brian's, that includes yours.
Yeah,
everything.
That's just our figures. Brian's got his separately.
As well, yeah.
He's got his.
Guys, you've come in with 3 of you. You should have said, we're going to go in as one, and I've just asked for some figures for the next 12 months.
Sure.
And I'm assuming that the partnership or the amalgamation has happened.
It hasn't yet, no.
Oh, it hasn't?
It hasn't happened. The merger hasn't happened.
OK, so year 2, which is the magic year.
Yeah.
So give me the magic figure.
Turnover 383.
383.
This is not taking into account Brian's figures.
No, but you've come in here, all due respect, to say it includes 2 businesses in one. So, OK, what will the combined figures be?
Like for last year, it was £150,000 I
Right.
turned over.
OK.
So if I double it for next year, it'll be 300,000.
I'm sorry, I've got to stop. This is a shambles. Are you seriously expecting us to sit here and add all of your numbers together so we can work out for you whether or not you've got a business that might possibly work joined? I have never seen a presentation like this in the Den. Have you actually spoken to each other before you walked through those doors?
We did, yes.
Did you think about making a presentation that actually presented the business that we were going to invest in, instead of expecting me to sit here and say, right, what's your bit of the business, which year, what's the bit that you're talking, let's add that together and let's see what's going forward.
Yeah, no, I respect that.
Oh, well, I'm not asking you to respect it, because I've got to tell you, this is shambolic.
I'm sorry about that, but we are, at the moment, we're two separate companies. And
But you're not asking me to invest in two separate companies. You can't stand in here and say we're combining the business, but actually we're going to give you the two separate numbers. You're confused. I mean, you're completely kerfuddled. I haven't got any questions for you whatsoever. I could not possibly invest and spend my time trying to work out the confusion that you yourselves haven't bothered working out the other side of those lift doors. I won't be investing. I'm out.
Deborah Meaden is unequivocal in her disdain of the entrepreneur's pitch, and perhaps not surprisingly, becomes the first dragon out. Will Peter Jones be any more forgiving?
Well, that's put a very interesting atmosphere in the den. And I actually couldn't agree more. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
We've been a bit naive.
This is an embarrassing moment for you, but
we
it's...
quickly add the numbers up, surely.
I think it's best that we just leave it there. I'm out.
The bit I don't understand in putting two businesses together is how you then ended up with 79% to you, Darren, and 20% to you, Brian. But, Brian, you've got the track record of a business that has sold 500 units in Europe, 500 units in Japan or something.
Yes.
And you guys are just resellers, but you end up with 20% of the business, and you, Darren, end up with 79%. It doesn't make sense.
It would be an equal amount between us. If you invest...
After the merger?
Yeah, well, after the merger, if you invest, it would be an equal amount between us.
I can't believe this is happening.
You just said it was 79, 20...
And one.
That's what it is at the moment.
To be honest, I think the proposition is a disaster, let alone the investment that you've tried to present. I could ask you a trillion questions, but it'll all lead to the same thing, which means I'm out. Thank you.
Confusion reigns in the den as Jenny Campbell's probing reveals discrepancies over the company's share structure. With three dragons now out of the picture, has Tej Lalvani got any chance of getting this pitch out of the doldrums?
How can you not have this organised? This doesn't make sense. You guys haven't got a proper business. You don't know what the shareholdings are. You don't know what the sales are. And I can't be part of something like this, so I'm going to say I'm out.
How do you feel?
Gutted.
Could have went better.
Look, guys, I'm going to be very straight with you. There is a problem. Unfortunately, you're not going to sort it out. For that reason, I'm not going to invest and I'm out.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
They started so optimistically, but the fault lines in their pitch soon began to appear.
Well, that's life.
I'm absolutely speechless.
It is shocking.
We won't be doing a celebratory dance in here.
And it's created a seismic split in their new partnership.
As Deborah said, it's a shambles, and, you know, I can't disagree with her. Based on what I've just experienced, I won't be merging with these two guys now, most definitely.
And Brian's walking home.
Yeah, you're fine.
The next entrepreneur to enter the den is the single-minded and self-motivated Louis Dorigny.
I started my first business when I was 11 years old, selling fizzy drinks and candy bars out of my locker. And that got me expelled from school. That was the best thing that happened to me in my life. Because I'm a clothing brand, I think Tucker Solomon has the most valuable experience in that field, and it'd be amazing to have him. Whoa. Hello, Dragons. My name is Louis, and I'm here today to raise 80,000 pounds for a 6% stake in my company, Ohm. Ohm is a men's activewear brand with deep roots in yoga and wellness. I started Ohm in 2016 as a men's yoga brand. Yoga is one of the fastest growing activities in the Western world. Men's yoga is the smallest segment of the market, but the fastest growing one, with 26% year-on-year growth against 16% for the female market. Our clothes aren't just for yoga. We've taken the same idea of high-tech, eco-friendly fabrics for movement into day wear. So the clothes I'm wearing now are made out of recycled fishnets, have pockets for the future with my phone, and are highly flexible. Our sales have more than doubled year on year, and with the help of a dragon, we can go much, much further. I've got some gifts for you guys, and then I'll welcome some questions.
Louis Dorigny's offering to the dragons is yoga-inspired clothing made from recycled materials.
You got my size right?
Yep, I think so, I hope.
He's looking to give away 6% of his company in return for £80,000.
And Peter.
Thank you.
Peter Jones wants to get straight to the core of the business.
Louis, give me the last 12 months of sales. How many millions have you sold?
So last year we did 260,000, and so far this year we've done 220,000.
What was your gross profit against that?
That is 198,000.
198. And did you make money?
No, we lost money.
How much did you lose?
180,000.
And where did you get the money from to launch the business? Who's invested?
So I raised £285,000 from friends, family, and some colleagues, and the rest of the money, £600,000, I put in myself.
600,000?
Yes.
Sorry, you put
Where?
600,000.
Correct.
You put in yourself?
Yes.
Where'd you get that money from, Louis?
When I was 18, I had a bit of money, and I put it all in a company that I really believed in that just went public. Facebook.
How much did you make?
About $2 million.
You made $2 million?
Yes.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
Wow, that was some punt.
Well, I studied mathematics, and the type of mathematics Facebook were using to do their online targeting, I understand very well, and I immediately saw how valuable that business is.
So, Louis, how old are you now?
27.
OK, so at that point, 2 years ago, you thought, crikey, I'm a millionaire now, and I'm still only 25. How did you come to decide what to do?
I'd been doing yoga for a long time, and I knew that there was this big gap in the market. I kind of had this dream of wearing clothes every day that I could be really proud of because I really care about the environment.
Yeah.
I just thought, this brand doesn't exist that aligns with my values. And so this is a way for me to get to there, is to start in a wide open area, men's yoga, and inch my way up through it.
Louis' intimation that he's got a nose for business and ethics to go along with it has put him in a strong position with Jenny Campbell. Peter Jones wants to know how the company's assets are shaping up.
So £885,000 has gone into this business so
Correct.
far. How much have you spent of that 885?
So we've spent about 280,000, and we've got about 400,000 left in stock, and a little over 100,000 pounds in cash in the bank.
Okay. Hence your valuation.
Hence my valuation.
Louis,
Yes. Hi, Trooper.
I must say, when I looked at the product, it's good.
Thank you.
You gave me a Grey Mile t-shirt. What do you sell it for retail?
That one is £36.
What does that cost you?
Landed cost $4 in the UK.
That cost you $4?
Correct.
He buys better than you.
I'm impressed. And how many SKUs do you have?
So at the moment, we have 26 lines, and by the end of this year, we're planning on having 79.
Hold on. But you're telling me you've got £400,000 worth of stock. So based on your figures, you've got 2 years worth of stock.
Correct.
Cool. Is that a good business?
That was a conscious decision. With most of our items, the time to make them is very long. We have to make all the raw materials from scratch.
Whoa. Having the stock in the warehouse hanging around for a year, that's not good business sense.
Well, we're not really bleeding money because holding the stock isn't very expensive.
I know, but your working capital is your biggest asset and your cash in a business. 80,000 from a dragon is not going to make any difference. I'm worried for you, Louis.
The discovery that almost £500,000 of the company coffers are tied up in stock has shifted the mood in the Den. Next up, Tej Lalvani. And for once, it's a dragon that's in awe of an entrepreneur's investment success.
Louis, hi.
Hi, Tej.
Going back to Facebook, that was one of my regrets, actually. I saw the stock price where it was, and I thought it has to work, and I just didn't do it. But you've done very well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So, look, my concern is that with this stock lying in your company, £400,000, you shouldn't be sleeping at night. You need to be focusing on how am I going to liquidate this stock.
So my plan is to really professionalize ourselves and be really presentable for wholesalers. And I think without a good trading history, without a big range to show, I'm going to be walking naked into those meetings. And ideally, if I have a dragon behind me, I'm going to be fully dressed up.
I'm just a bit concerned about your general business instinct. You still haven't convinced me that you're concerned about that £400,000 which is just sitting there.
Oh, I'm very concerned. But I know that I can get my money back on the stock through discounting and retailing with cheaper outlets, but I don't want to take that route until I've really explored growing the business.
So, what is your monthly burn rate? What are your costs at the moment?
So at the moment, we burn between £10,000 and £12,000 a month.
That's all your costs? Don't you have staff?
Yeah, we have staff.
How many staff do you employ?
7.
You shouldn't be having 7 full-time staff when you're losing money like this in a business, you know. 3 people, I believe, should be giving you a turnover of £250,000 of what you're doing right now. You need to rethink the strategy, cut your costs down, get rid of your stock. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be part of the journey, so I'm going to say I'm out.
One dragon down, as concerns Louis being flush with his cash make this investment a stretch too far for Tej Lalvani. Now Deborah Meaden's wondering if the business has got the balance right when it comes to its product range.
Louis, hi.
Deborah, hi.
So what are your hero products? And out of those range, what's the biggest numbers?
So my hero product is the one I've given you.
Okay.
And those are called the Dharma pants. And they are about 50% of our online sales.
What's your next bestseller?
The shorts that are there with Tej.
And how much of your sales is that?
25%.
So 75% of your sales are going through 2 items. I tell you what, if I were you right now, I would be saying, blimey, I've got 2 absolute sellers out there. I'm not going to introduce a load more ranges. I'm going to test how far they go. What you're doing is now bringing in a load more products that I promise you, you'll get 1 or 2 of those that far outstrip everything, and the rest will sit there. I promise you, because it's what happens. Coupled with the fact, I think you've got too much money. Do you know, one of the biggest gifts I ever had was not really ever having enough money to do the things that I wanted to do. Because what it does for you, it makes you very resourceful, very careful. And I just think you've got too much. I'm really sorry, but I won't be investing. I'm out.
Another blow for the entrepreneur, as his abundance of cash works against him with this multimillionaire investor. Does clothing guru Tuka Suleiman see Louis' business as tailor-made for his portfolio?
Louis, you come across as being very credible.
Thank you, Tuka.
Not sensible, but credible. And in a way, I'm scared for you. Because you made some easy money using your brain. And I'm wondering where that brain's gone now. I can't work out how you've ended up with so much stock. There's a lot of small brands like you who haven't got scale, who haven't got money, but they find a way. The problem is you haven't got scale, but you had money. And you ended up in that deep hole being convinced to buy far more than you can sell. I like the product, I like you, the numbers that add up. And for that reason, I'm not going to invest in amounts.
Thank you.
Louis, you are in an almighty pickle. But you know that. And so the best decision you made in the last 12 months was to come in here. You need a lifeline, and that's why you're here.
Absolutely.
And with a lifeline, you probably can get this back on the right footing. Otherwise, you're sure as hell going to lose all of this money. But I've got two sons about your age who are learning and becoming successful entrepreneurs. I don't need a third surrogate son, thank you. So I wish you all the best. I'm out.
So near, yet so far, as Jenny Campbell refuses to nurture Louis' fledgling business. Leaving just Peter Jones, whose chakras seem unexpectedly aligned with the product on offer.
Louis, I have a very different opinion to all of this. I do yoga Mondays and Thursdays. I'm wearing like old shorts that I haven't worn for 30 years. And because I lost a bit of weight, I've even got a pair of shorts where I've got a hair clip and a pin on the side, which is a little bit dangerous.
Bit dangerous, yeah.
But I really like your business.
Thank you, Peter.
There is a definite risk with you making that money and your first business and you losing it. I believe that could end up happening, but I don't believe it will because I'm going to make you an offer.
Thank you, Peter.
And I'm making an offer based on the fact that I actually do like the genuine passion and story behind it. So I'm going to offer you all of the money, but I want 20% of the business.
Thank you, Peter. Peter, I accept your offer.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well done. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louis. That's great.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Cheers.
Bye.
So it's namaste to Louis, who leaves the den with the full £80,000 he was looking for. But for over 3 times the 6% equity he wanted to give away. All in exchange for the wisdom of a dragon.
I couldn't have hoped for better. Getting Peter Jones on board will change everything for me.
I'm excited.
He needed you.
That's also a nice feeling.
Lucky him.
It'd be great. Maybe I can teach Peter how to do a handstand.
Already tonight,
I've got to tell you, this is shambolic.
the Dragons have delivered a damning verdict on a parcel business. Still to come,
You've really started on the wrong foot.
further questions spell disaster.
You must know that. I mean, that's like a fundamental number.
Does this indicate to me that you are cash-strapped?
I find that just disingenuous.
But could lead to success.
I love what you do.
I will make you an offer.
Next into the den, a husband and wife duo, Ross and Kristen Hunter.
Prepared for this, it's fine. Got this. This business started on our kitchen table.
And then from there, it's been a roller coaster of a ride.
The pair are hoping to make barrels of cash out of their business, influenced by Scotland's national drink.
We take repurposed materials. Okay, honey, this is it. And turn them into very beautiful, elegant products, which I suppose could frame memories.
Hi, I'm Kristen Hunter, and this is my husband and business partner, Ross Hunter. And together, we created Whiskey Frames.
We're looking to secure £50,000 for a 15% equity share. So, what is a whiskey frame? Well, it's unique, rustic, yet refined photo frame made from genuine Scottish whiskey barrels. Every frame is hand-numbered. Enter this into our frame origin archive and it will tell you from which distillery the barrel used to make this very frame came from. It's a huge selling point and enhances the gift-giving experience.
We started Whiskey Frames whilst I was on my maternity leave in August of 2016. From the get-go, the demand for Whiskey Frames was amazing, and we quickly realized it was going to be more than just a lifestyle business.
We became a limited company in early 2017 and have just completed our first year of trading. Since we started, we've secured over 200 wholesale stockists, sold over 14,000 frames, built our own workshops, and bought outright all our own equipment.
In the past 12 months, we've had a turnover of £185,000 and a net profit of £21,800.
We're on track to turn over £300,000 this year with a projected net profit of £65,000, and in 2019 we aim to double these figures, mainly through export and distribution agreements.
With your help, we hope to grow Whiskey Frames to become that go-to gift for a special occasion, bringing a wee bit of Scotland into homes around the world.
Thank you for your time, and we open the floor to questions. Thank you.
It's a spirited pitch from husband and wife team Ross and Kristen Hunter.
Thank you.
They're looking to give away a 15% stake in their business that makes photo frames out of whiskey barrels, in return for £50,000.
We also brought with us some drams of whiskey. If you'd like to have a wee dram, we can serve you one as well.
I love the way you say "wee dram" in your American accent.
But will Deborah Meaden be as smitten with the business as she is with Kristen's Scottish twang?
Kristen, Ross, hi.
Hi.
Can you give me an indicator of price? You know, what are these retailing at?
Yes, so they vary in price from £37 to £80. So the frames we gifted you, they come in at £49 before you put your personalised gift options on them.
Can you work through the cost prices in making those?
So the material cost for that particular frame is £3.10. The average labour on that is £5.50, giving a total frame cost of £8.60.
And what about availability of barrels?
Basically, no, we won't run out of barrels. There's over 23 million barrels in maturation in Scotland alone. Of that, about 250,000 are bottled each year, and of that, just under 10% are unusable for the whisky industry.
OK, so what normally happens to those barrels?
They usually get disposed of and made into firewood or biomass fuel.
The whisky industry is very much wanting to be a zero-waste industry, and by doing this, we're helping them do that.
Hi. I must say, I think it's really nice.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I own a company called Jessops. I don't know if you've heard of Jessops.
Yes.
And we've now moved in the last 6 months more into photos and framing.
Yes.
But not everybody is going to want a rustic product.
Exactly, yes.
So there's the restriction. Have you got any ideas about how you can overcome that?
So interestingly, we've bought the domain for wine frames, so we can roll out into the wine regions as well. So we've been kind of thinking about how it can diversify that way into other sort of barrels as well.
Because I feel that sort of having a really good, even mahogany, you could actually go quite modern.
Yeah.
I think that's something we can certainly look to in the future.
A confident start, as Ross and Kristen demonstrate they have the bottle to think beyond their whiskey-themed idea. Next up, Tej Lalvani, who already has an affinity with the couple's source material.
I do like the occasional whiskey, and when you came on and I saw the frames there, I never really would have thought this could have been a business, but it seems that in the last year you guys have gained some interesting traction.
Very much so, yes.
So, what percentage of your sales is online versus the retail route?
At the moment, wholesale makes up 80% of our orders, and we only have 10% online, and then we retail ourselves in a couple of pop-up shops, and that's the other 10%.
Right, so the online is not that big, really?
Not yet. So we're really hoping to grow that market because the personalised gift market was a $1 billion industry in the UK last year.
And with the net profit figures, you mentioned 21K last year. Does that include you guys taking a salary?
So I didn't take a salary this year. However, I'm on the books for taking a salary of £1,000 a month this coming year.
Yes.
And Ross?
I'll be taking £500 a month from this.
From this year?
Yes.
So £1,500 together?
Yes.
If you do achieve your goal of doubling your turnover to 300,000 next year, you're still producing 65,000 in terms of profit.
Yes.
Which is really, really small when you're taking between two of you 1,500. You wouldn't be able to find two of you with your skill that would work for that amount of money. So in reality, that business for me already is break-even or loss-making. Even in year 3, you're coming out at 130k maximum opportunity in terms of profit. If you were to pay yourselves 40 or 50,000 each, a couple of things to go wrong, all of a sudden you don't make any money. The reality is my investment secures your future, but I'm not here for that.
So that's the profit forecast that we've given is if we didn't have any investment at all. So that's us just growing organically every year the way we have been. So with an investment from the Dragons, we would hope that, it would definitely leapfrog us to another level of organic growth, and we'd be able to have a much higher turnover.
So what forecast would that be if you got 50,000 today?
I mean, the predictions are very difficult, but I would double those figures again, effectively. And he's 75 to 100% up on what we're expecting there.
Ross, that's an answer, but it's not a very good one. you're kind of you're blagging it.
Yes, I am a wee bit.
Sorry.
Ross and Kristen's chances of a Dragon's backing could be on the rocks, as Peter Jones pokes holes in their company's projections. Jenny Campbell wants to know what her potential investment would be spent on.
Kristen, Ross, hello there.
Hi, Jenny.
Remind me what you want the 50,000 for, specifically.
We'd like to dedicate £14,000 to our marketing.
Right.
And then the other focus is to buy new equipment.
So we'd be looking at a new laser cutter, which would reckon about £8,000.
So that's £22,000. And what about the other 28,000?
So we really want to have Whiskey Frames be a zero waste company. So we're going to invest in solar panels and biomass boilers.
Okay, and the rest of it then?
Is working capital.
Working capital.
Is working capital. So my ex-banker head's going, there's a substantial amount of this you want for working capital.
Yeah.
Does this indicate to me that you are cash-strapped? Without this investment, you really can't pursue your growth plan, is what you're saying?
It would be more difficult, yes.
Yeah, we can do it organically.
But you're asking for someone else to put their money in and believe in a growth plan that you couldn't properly articulate, frankly. You know, you should have been able to say, by spending £50,000 on these things, the forecast, instead of being 600,000 next year and 130 profit, would be 1 million and 500,000 profit, because we would do these things.
Yes, you're right.
There was a lot of words and no numbers that went with it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry, it's probably something we should have thought of. I'm really sorry.
I used to be a banker and be there for the long-term journey with my customers like you, but now I'm an investor looking for a return within 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
You haven't convinced me today on the potential of that investment. So I wish you all the best, and I'm out.
With concerns that her investment may ferment for a long time before it matures, Jenny Campbell becomes the first dragon out. Will Tuka Suleiman raise the entrepreneur's spirits with an offer?
I love the fact that you've identified waste and you turn it into a business. But in order to grow the business, which markets do you see as an opportunity?
The export market is booming. And to give you an idea, last year export was 6% of our turnover. It's now 22%, and we are now...
So which countries?
America.
I'd say it's fairly scattered throughout the States.
Okay, I'm going to tell you where I stand, guys. I love what you do.
Thank you.
But this is a business for you. If I got involved in this, I'd want to see my money back. I'd want to see some sort of exit somewhere, but I can't see that. And for that reason, I'm not going to invest in it, I'm out.
I like it. I think it's neat what you've done, and it's going to have a place. You mentioned in your opening pitch, you're moving away from this being a lifestyle brand. And I don't think that's necessarily right. You've basically said this is a great business with investment for you. And you haven't given me a good enough reason to invest for me. So That's the reason why, sadly, I'm going to say I'm out.
The online piece is the piece that is really disappointing in here.
Yes, I know.
because you know it's where the business is done.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Deborah. And we've grown so quickly in the past year that we've been consciously aware that we haven't wanted to overtrade and disappoint our wholesale stockists. So we've put very little into sort of social media marketing and things like that, which is what we would hope to do in the next year, is to really roll out some aggressive campaigns.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you where I am. I too think that this is not as scalable as you possibly think it is. And I don't see the levers that even I could super boost it, because I think there's a limit to it. So I'm afraid I won't be investing. I'm out.
With 4 dragons down, Ross and Kristen's chances of investment are slipping away. Could their idea still wet the whistle of whiskey fan Tej Lalvani?
I actually think you guys are great together. It's a unique opportunity. The gifting market, something what you're doing no one's been doing before. I think that you will have good growth, and I think you'll do well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I personally just don't like the look of it in terms of rustic. It is not my taste at all.
Fair enough.
I would not put one in my house. So, but the main concern I have is that the opportunity for growth is going to be limited.
Mm-hmm.
So on that basis, I'm going to wish you guys the best, but I'm out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, they'd say it's a niche market, but a niche market can be very big. And it's a unique product. You were on fire. You were amazing. You really were. No.
I think we're absolutely going to prove them wrong.
Yeah, in a respectful way, but
yeah,
yes.
in a respectful way.
They've got everything they need to make that business work.
It's a great
and
family
get to the
business.
size that it's going to be.
After this, I think we're going to relax and have a wee dram and
Or two, yeah.
Or two, yeah.
Our last entrepreneurs to be going into the den are friends Kim Lamser and Charlotte Dozer, who are pitching a dessert company with a difference.
If we told you that you could have a brownie that's got no gluten, no dairy, no preservatives or nasties, but tastes absolutely delicious, wouldn't you want to try?
And the health-conscious pair have already got a plan as to which dragons they'd like to invest in their healthy pudding business.
Peter Jones and Deborah Meaden would be interesting because they've got food brands already.
It says share me, but I'm not going to share this one.
You usually do.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kim.
And I'm Charlotte, and together we are the founders of Gâteau & Co., a brand of delicious puddings. We would like to ask you for £50,000 for a 1.7% equity stake in our business. We created Gâteau because we wanted to save desserts. The facts are that the UK dessert market is large but declining, mainly due to concerns around health and sugar. We both wanted to change this. So I decided to quit my job and start my own range of free-from desserts.
Charlotte's an old friend of mine, and when she told me about her idea, I knew she was onto a winner. So I invested my savings, and a year later, I quit my job to join her. Gâteau & Co. puddings are naturally lower in sugar, but big on taste and indulgence. We use ground almonds instead of flour, almond milk instead of cream, and even aubergine instead of butter. We prefer to rely on the natural sweetness of our ingredients and just a touch of honey to create something that has about half the sugar of those on the market today.
We launched onto shelves in January 2017. Within a year, we launched in more than 100 stores in Sainsbury's, Ocado, and many others.
But don't take our word for it. We've got 3 amazing flavours for you to try.
It's a sweet pitch from Scottish-French combo Kim Lamser and Charlotte Dozer,
We've heated them up.
Yeah, they're warm, so just so you don't get a fright.
who want £50,000 for a very precise 1.7% of their fledgling dessert company.
Oh, I don't know which one to try first.
While Jenny Campbell struggles with her gastronomic conundrum, Peter Jones is the first dragon to delve into the budding pudding business.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi.
This is very nice.
Thank you. Which one have you got there?
I got the sticky toffee.
That's got a salted caramel sauce. It's our newest flavour.
And we use courgette instead of butter, so there's always a little tweak.
Can't taste the courgette.
No, you can't.
It tastes really good. I didn't catch the share. You said you wanted £50,000 for how much?
1.7%?
Sorry, for 1.7?
Yeah.
Yes.
What? 1.7%?
Yeah, we actually raised money at that exact valuation in December. So we know that this is our true market value.
So what are you valuing the company at?
3 million.
And how much did you raise?
We raised £350,000 from a combination of finance professionals, experts in the industries, and we've got 22 investors in total.
I'd love to hear now about the sales.
So if we look at year one, we made £30,000.
You turned over 30,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to offer you a job to go and raise money. Because if you can raise capital like that and value a business at 3 million after sales of £30,000, you are magicians. Genuinely incredible.
We have grown so quickly in such a short period of time, and we are determined to make this the next big dessert brand. You know, Goo, for example, after 7-8 years, sold for 30 million. We can do that.
There is not a company in the world that has sold for even £200,000 at that revenue stream. Not a company in the world. And yet you're worth 3 million.
Sure, but I guess what's different is, you know, we're just starting out. And so, you know,
yeah, but
this
you're starting out at an exit price.
But to us, 3 million is not an exit price. For us, an exit price is 30 million plus.
I find that just disingenuous. Okay. So I feel that you've really started on the wrong foot. You've got my back up.
Incredulity reigns in the Den at the entrepreneurs' claims they can fast-track a 10-fold increase in the value of their company. And Deborah Meaden is keen to know if they have the figures to back up these ambitious projections.
What do these sell at?
They sell at £2.25.
And what margins are you getting at the moment?
Do you want to talk about the promotions?
Yes, so...
Actually, can I start with straight margin?
Yeah.
And then post-promotion margin?
Yep. The gross margin on the product is 13%.
And what's your pure margin if you're not promoting?
Good question.
Yeah, we would have to check. I would say 15%.
Gosh,
That's low.
Are you sure?
What does it cost you?
No, Tuka, can I just ask the questions and can you just answer me? Okay. So what are your margins without promotion?
I think we would have to check that.
Yeah, we would have to double check.
But you must know that. I mean, that's like a fundamental number. You've got to know what it costs you to make and what you're selling it for, and therefore what its margins are, surely.
So in terms of our costs, so it's at the moment £1.17 per pot. So that's ingredients, that's packaging, logistics. And then we sell to supermarkets for around £1.50.
So the cost price you mentioned, £1.17.
Yep. Yes.
How low could you get that?
So we're projecting that by year 5, we could get it down to 75p.
So what type of volumes are you talking about to get a 75p?
We're saying 4 million revenue, which is 3.2 million pots.
OK, so that's a substantial amount of units to sell to get the price down.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you, and you'd understand the margins are terrible.
Yes. We're really ambitious. We want to accelerate our growth. So things that we currently have planned for year 4 and 5, for example, expanding into Europe, we would like the help from a dragon to make that happen much sooner.
The product's minuscule margins have rattled the dragons, despite assurances they'd improve with investment today. Now, Jenny Campbell wants to know if there's anything in the entrepreneurs' backgrounds to convince her to join their pudding partnership.
What did you do before Healthy Puddings?
So we actually started working together in our consulting firm, but I never really liked strategy consulting. And I decided to actually do this for me. I wanted a bit more meaning in my life.
And Kim?
So kind of always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I guess strategy consulting was a perfect training for that.
OK. I mean, what I think is, in the consultancy world, you can have your head in the clouds a little, and that's where I think your fanciful valuation comes from, frankly. You're trying to follow the dream of selling for 30 million.
Yep.
You've got stars in your eyes. You've got a field of experts from venture capitalists, private equity people, but you still feel you need a dragon, but you're not going to value that dragon's expertise any more than your current investors.
I would say not, and this is also why...
OK, well, that's clear, that you would say not. Because being number 23rd shareholder is not that attractive. You must see that. I'm not prepared to be a 23rd investor here. So I would go home and take a reality check, but not with me. Thank you, I'm out.
The prospect of being a small fish in a big pond has resulted in Jenny Campbell becoming the first dragon to bow out of the deal. Peter Jones was one of the entrepreneur's preferred investors, but is he still soured by that ambitious 30 million exit price?
Do you know what? I love it, but you can tell I'm frustrated because I've been in this game a long time and I make tens of millions in the supermarkets, and I've not had an exit at anything like 30 million.
Could be the first one, it's puddings.
Honestly, I'm really struggling because the product's really lovely and then you've completely deflated me. Your investment criteria and your offer is really, really unattractive. So for that reason, I'm out.
You're two very smart people, but who have lived in this corporate world that is used to dealing with lots of zeros on the end of every number that they come up with. And that is worrying for me as an investor.
Oh no, don't get us wrong on this. I started the business, I put all of my savings in this.
But when you boil it down, you're too used to having cash around.
But we are fighters. I mean, if we weren't, there's no way we'd have got it to this point that it's at now.
I'm sorry, I don't get that sense from you.
It's okay.
So I won't be investing. I'm out.
With their two favoured dragons out of the picture, it looks like Kim and Charlotte's pitch is beginning to crumble. But Tuka Suleiman already has an investment in a gourmet dessert business. Can he find the sweet spot in this one and add it to his portfolio?
Kim?
Yes.
Charlotte. You probably know that I don't get out of bed for 1.7%.
I thought it was 1%.
I'm assuming you... Can I just finish, please? Look, I can see how you've raised the money. You talk the language these guys in the city want to hear. But any sensible investor would have looked at this and said, valuation is far too high. However, let's just get on with the business. I do have an indulgent business.
Yes, we know.
Called...
Bad Brownie.
And what concerns me is, if I had to value this properly, I'd want a fair chunk of the business. Are you ready to give it away?
Depends what a fair chunk is.
Well, look, I will offer you all of the money, but I want 30%.
It's an unanticipated offer from Tuka Suleiman, but for over 17 times the equity that Kim and Charlotte were willing to give away. Leaving just health magnate Tej Lalvani to give his verdict on the Pudding Pears deal.
My favourite dessert is sticky toffee pudding. And what's incredible is you have got the sugar down. It's not easy to do and maintain the taste, so that's really commendable. But I just don't figure how you've gotten this situation where your margin's so low. It's going to be years and years before you get that down. You've got to do huge volumes before you get your price down.
It's a fair point. Today, we are in 109 stores. This is very low in terms of volume. We will be able to expand in Sainsbury's and the other retailers we're aiming at, and this will bring the volumes we need for economies of scale.
Look, I mean, it's a difficult decision, but your valuation is actually a bit crazy in terms of the sales you're doing. However, I will make you an offer.
Hellfire.
I'm going to offer you all of the money for 25%.
Okay. Thank you, Dash. Do you mind if we go to the
Yep.
bar?
In a complete change of fortune, the entrepreneurs now have two dragons vying for their business.
This is £50,000, so they're valuing our business at 200,000. Okay, so we'd say no.
Tuka Suleiman wants 30% of the company, but Tej Lalvani has swooped in with a more competitive 25% demand.
Would we go back with a counter offer of what we think we would accept?
Both are massively over the 1.7% that Kim and Charlotte wanted to give away.
You go for it. Okay.
The entrepreneurs will have to negotiate hard if they want to strike a deal.
Tuka, I'm afraid the offer of 30% is really too high for us. So, Tej, as you were saying 25%, would you be willing to make a deal where it was 25% of the business, and after a year, if we hit certain targets, you would roll that back to 10%?
I guess you haven't offered me that, so on that
Yes.
basis, unfortunately, I'm out.
Well, I appreciate you coming back with that, and I think that's a sensible move. And on that basis, what I'll be prepared to do is 50,000 for 25%. I'll drop it to 20% if within 18 months I get my money back.
Okay. Unfortunately, the business is only going to break even in year 3, so I'm afraid we'll have to decline your offer.
All right, well, in that case, I'm out, but good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Refusing to rise to Tej Lalvani's equity demands, Kim and Charlotte leave the den empty-handed.
It was exciting, but it was a bit of a fight.
They've just lived in a world of crazy valuation.
Cloud cuckoo land.
It's definitely something that we will try to use and learn to grow our business.
And hopefully one day we will meet that 30 million plus valuation.
So there's been one badly thought out pitch tonight, one missed opportunity, and one lifeline of an investment. We've seen the whole range of outcomes, showing that if you get everything in line, your story straight, the price right, and a good product to boot, then a dragon is sure to bite.
That's nice.
This is my kind of service.
Cheers. Guys, bottoms up.
Next time.
This is just not how I do business.
That's pretty catastrophic as far as I'm concerned.
Actually, I find you very naive.
I'm really, really annoyed about it.
I would be willing to drop my offer down to 20% if it was shared with Deborah.
What he's saying is he won't share with me.
Come on, Tish, you want them to go on their knees to get a bid from you? In or out?
There's my offer. It would be really good of you if you would accept it.
Dragon's Den is back at the same time next week. Penguins waddling through the streets of Cape Town in the rush hour become disoriented. City as Nature's New Wild is next. A wife about to give birth, an unwanted surprise uncle, and a daughter with a shaved head. Families. Lee Mack stars in Semi-Detached at 10.